Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Miss Crochet and Coffee here. And today, as you can see, it's time to pull out those whips, whatever you're working on, coloring, cross-stitching, crochet, knitting, whatever you're working on. And let's have a chitter chat, shall we? So, first things first, how are you? Are you having a great day? If not, well, let's see if we can change that. I have a few stories for you. Gonna let you know how my birthday went. As you guys know, I did get really sick the day before, and I was sick all weekend long for my birthday. It was not fun times. Now, I got sick Thursday. Like, I started feeling sick Thursday, got really sick Friday, spent most of the day in bed crying and just gross. And essentially getting sick for me, a lot of it has to do mental health wise, where I don't get depressed about my birthday. And I usually don't talk about like deep stuff like this on my channel too much. I mean, I do, but not like this. My emotions tie in deeply to my mental well-being. And for some reason, I just was not having a good mental health day. Like, have you ever had one of those days where you don't have a good mental health day? Now, the problem is because I'm unmedicated, for those of you who are new to the channel, hey, I'm Miss Coffee. I have bipolar type 1. I am not medicated. Yep. And everybody in my house is still alive. But with my bipolar disorder, if I'm having a bad mental health day, I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but your mental health can make you physically ill. You can actually get a lot of ailments from mental health. Like, you can be so depressed that you literally make yourself sick. So essentially, I don't know what happened, and because my moods change so drastically from moment to moment, I don't know what happened, but I went from being incredibly happy to all of a sudden every piece of rage inside of my body came out and it made me sick. I'm not sure why it happened. I wasn't really upset about anything until Friday. Friday morning, I got to go out to breakfast with Mr. Coffee, and then just the rest of the day was just hell. And I tried taking a nap. I tried waking up and taking another nap. I was going to try to push through going live, and I'm glad that I didn't because I was not in the right mindset to go live. So, yeah, so for those of you who noticed there wasn't a live this week, I want to say I apologize, but in the same instance, I have to, make sure I'm okay before I can, like, do anything else. So if it was a severe inconvenience, I guess, to you, which I'm not sure how sitting and listening to me jibba jabba for 3 hours is an inconvenience to anyone else but myself. But if that, upsets you, I'm sorry. But, Miss Coffee's got to take care of Miss Coffee. I got a new coffee cup. It's a purple Yeti. I also would like to take the time to say thank you so very much to all of you who sent gifts, who gave me well wishes, who have been continuously checking on me to see how I'm feeling. I still feel like hot garbage. If you don't know what that feels like, it's like when you have the flu. That's essentially what it feels like. And now that I'm coming down off of whatever manic episode I was having, my body is reacting to it as if I have the flu without any of like the grossness, like the snot and tears and everything else. My body hurts. And it's like I feel like I've been doing physical activity nonstop for 4 days. So like my body hurts, and I am taking medicine now to try to help. So yeah, so hopefully that will get better soon. But I'm well enough to do videos, obviously, because I've been still cranking them out. You guys should actually be getting quite a few videos this week. I might even save some for Saturday and Sunday just so that you guys aren't getting bombarded with like 4 and 5 videos a day. I have a new product that I want to show you guys that I'm super excited about. It's been hard to keep it a secret, but I want you guys to be surprised. I have another coloring tool. I got sent Copic markers for my birthday. I don't know who sent them. That's the other thing. I got a message from a young lady asking for my address. Now, my big thing is here, when you ask for my address, a lot of the times I don't like giving out my personal home address. Not that I think any one of you guys would come to my house, because if you're brave enough to come to North Dakota, you're brave enough to come get me. But I just don't like giving out my home address. Like, it's just, whatever. Well, I had a young lady that was very pushy about my address. She would not stop. She just kept asking for it for 3.5 hours. And I think that's when my manic episode started. Now, the young lady claimed that she was a subscriber on my channel, and I don't doubt that she was. She said she was a subscriber on my channel, because obviously, you can be a subscriber on my channel and I not know who you are. But I had never seen her name in the community. I'd never seen her comment on a video. I asked a few of my friends that are creators, have you seen this person? I even went as high up as Stitcherista, like, hey, have you seen this woman before? And she was just like, no, I've never seen that name before. Well, the woman was incredibly pushy about my address. Why are you giving it to everybody else and not me? Why can't I have your address? This isn't fair. I want to send you something. I'm like, I've never had somebody aggressively tell me that they want to send me something. And I wasn't getting a good feeling off of it. So I told her, at this time, I can't give you my address. To which she didn't like the fact that I wouldn't give her the address, because how dare I not give her the address so she can send me something. And I didn't want to be rude to her, but I was getting more and more infuriated after time went on, because literally it was almost 4 hours of her badgering me for my address. And she would stop talking for a bit and I would think it was over, and then she'd come back and be like, well, why do you give everybody else your address? Why can't I have your address? The thing is, a lot of the people that ask for my address are very active on my channel. I've talked to them, via message, or, they've interacted on my channel, so I know, who they are. This woman I had never seen ever on my channel. I've never seen her in a live. I've never seen her comment. I've never seen her in anybody else's comment section. And so I was a little weary about just randomly giving this person my address. And then she wouldn't stop. She would not stop. And I think I was talking to Becky's Madness for Crafting. And she's like, is she still messaging you? I'm like, she literally is still messaging you, or messaging me. We're on hour 3 at that point. Well, I got so infuriated, I think that's what ended up making me sick. Now that I think about it, because Mr. Coffee, he has to deal with that. He has to deal with the manic episodes. And I try not to get too angry with my subscribers, because, you're not going to keep subscribers if you, yell at them all the time. So I was trying to be as nice as I can to this woman and explaining to her in the nicest way possible, I don't really know you. I've never seen you comment or anything on my channel. That's not to say that you're not a subscriber, but I don't feel comfortable at this time giving you my address. And then she just was like, well, I'm a subscriber and I watch all your videos and blah, blah, blah. And, and the first thing she said was to add me as a friend on Facebook. Now, you guys know, last Wednesday I stated in my whipping chat, and this woman claims that she has watched all my videos. One, she said I unboxed a white rubber pen, and I had not unboxed a white rubber pen, but then I realized what she was talking about. She was talking about my pen that one of my subscribers gave me from Rachel Ray, the Cherry Blossom. And when she said white, I'm like, I don't have a white rubber pen. And then I realized this probably looks white to you guys in the camera, but it's actually like a pale pink. So, and now that I have it out, I'm actually going to use it. So yeah, she would not stop. She reluctantly kept, why won't you give me your address? Why do you give everybody else your address? I want your address so I can send you something for your birthday. Why won't you let me do this? And I honestly believe that's what made me sick, because I was holding in, not lashing out. And I just realized I forgot to send Christy the pin to that diamond painting. Darn it. I'll have to send her another package. Anyways, yes. So real quick, Christy Duggar, the winner of that canvas from Victoria Moon, she did get her package sent out to her. She should have it by now. So I should be getting weekly updates from her starting soon, because I don't think she's going to start it right away. So as soon as she does start it and start sending me update pictures of it, I will start adding those into my Feature Friday. And I also sent out the contest winner in my group, Crafters Anonymous, with Miss Crochet and Coffee Rachel and Rachel Ray. We did a contest in there. There was 585 folks that, you know, entered the contest, which was amazing. So thank you all who entered. The 4 people that won, because I made a mistake when I was reading the numbers. I read one of the winners. I read their number was 226, and I for some reason read them as the winner, and it was actually the person right above them and not them. But because I had made the mistake, I was like, you know what, forget it. We'll just give all 4 of you canvases. We can do without one extra canvas in our stash. So those 4 people will be getting their canvases, and we already have it worked out on how we're going to get those folks their canvases. But my winner, the one that won the canvas from me, which was Trisha Jones. Trisha is actually a YouTuber here on YouTube. And I was like, hold up, Trisha Jones. I'm like, are you the same Trisha Jones from YouTube? And she's like, yes. And I was like, oh, for real? So yeah, so congrats to the winners, Sue Allen, Noli Noel, Rebecca Holloway, and Trisha Jones. Those are the 4 winners of the contest in the group. So congratulations, ladies. Like I said, Trisha, I sent her package out Monday, because you guys won't see this video until Wednesday. Her package got sent out already, and we're working out the details to send out the rest of the packages. Rachel is on her way to the States from Ireland. So once she gets here, she'll probably mail off her winners, because I think Rebecca Holloway was hers, and then Pawpaw decided he was going to take 2 winners. So we already have everything situated. So for those ladies, don't worry, your prizes are coming. So yeah, anyways, back to the lady. So the lady being pushy about my address. Now, normally, like I said, I don't have a problem if I know that you're on my channel, if I've interacted with you, if I feel comfortable enough to give you my address. But that set me off, because 1, after the first time I said no, there was no reason to continuously ask for the address. Like, I felt that to be rude, and it actually seemed pretty creepy. And I'm gonna guess she didn't live in the States, because there seemed to be a little bit of a language barrier. And that's not to say, you know, be rude or anything, but I could tell there was, you know, a little bit of a language barrier there. So that's another reason why I didn't want to snap off right off the handle, because if there was a language barrier and she did live in another country, you know, I don't want to mistake, you know, her saying something for being rude. So I kept trying to be nice and being nice and being nice. And by the end of it, I literally was so frustrated. I had to go outside and walk, because I was just so freaking irritated. Because why would you continuously badger someone for 4 hours about their address? So, because of that incident, I will no longer be giving out my home address to anyone. If you would like to send fan mail, I went out that day. Matter of fact, right as I was talking to her, I went online and I ordered a P.O. box, because I don't like the fact that somebody would do that. Why would you badger somebody for hours? And then she was just very rude and, well, I'll just unsubscribe from your channel and your channel, you know, whatever. And I'm like, ma'am, that is perfectly fine, and I do apologize, but I don't feel comfortable giving you my address. But for some reason, she wouldn't take that as an answer. She was not taking no as an answer. She just would not stop. So because of that incident, I will no longer be giving out my address. If you would like to send fan mail and you don't already have my address, then there is a P.O. box located in the description box under how you can get in contact with me. Anything you would like to send, not saying that you have to, is not an obligation. Please don't feel like it is. I didn't want to have to do that, but I don't want people pushily asking me for my address. I don't need people giving me a hard time because I won't give them my address because I don't feel comfortable with them having my address. So there's that. And of course, that then manifested into me being angry because that was more money I had to spend to go get a P.O. box just so I didn't get anyone else like that was very upset at the fact that I wouldn't give them my address. So yeah, like, how would you feel if somebody was badgering you for 4 hours for your address and you tell them no and they wouldn't take no as an answer and you're being cruel and unfair and rude and all this, and in reality it's just you don't feel safe. And if you don't feel safe, then why would you give somebody your address? Yeah. Anyways, deep breaths, folks. Deep breaths. So yes, I believe that's what ended up striking the nerve. And sometimes I get a little bit of a delayed reaction. So that happened the evening, Thursday evening, because it was literally, I remember because it was literally the day after my whipping chat went up, because when she asked me to accept her friend request, because she had somehow found my real name, when she asked me to accept her friend request, again, the reason I don't accept friend requests is because, I deserve to have privacy and normalcy outside of YouTube. You guys know me as Miss Coffee. My family knows me as something else. So not that they're not essentially the same person, but that part of my life, I will keep secret. There is no more being nice about it. That is my part of my life. If you're not already on my personal page, you will not be on my personal page. That's why I also created the group Crafters Anonymous with Miss Crochet and Coffee and Rachel Ray. You can interact with me there. You can contact me on my business page if you need to message me, but I will not be adding you to my personal Facebook page. To which the first thing she did was request me as a friend on Facebook, and she's like, accept my friend request and let me have your address so I can send you something. No, that's rude. And I'm like, for someone who watches all of my videos, how did you miss the video that literally went up yesterday where I stated I do not let my subscribers on my personal Facebook page? I'm like, you missed that video, but you watch all my videos. And she literally watched the video from that morning. So I would only guess that she watched that whipping chat. So I was just like, how did you miss the fact that I said I don't allow people, subscribers on my personal page? And at first I used to be really, oh, well, I don't want them to think I'm being rude. At this point, it's just going to turn into being rude, because I say it almost every time somebody asks me to accept their friend request. And I'm like, look, I love my subscribers. I do. But you're not getting on my personal page. That is my personal page with my children and my family on it, and that's what it will be. Because no matter how many times you tell somebody, I'm going to put this video up on Wednesday, and I guarantee you, by Wednesday afternoon, somebody will friend request me that I don't know. Because, of course, YouTube has different names than... On YouTube, people's names are different. So when you come over to Facebook with your real name, people act like you just automatically know who they are. And they're like, well, I'm so-and-so from YouTube. That's wonderful. I have a group called Crafters Anonymous, and I have been called rude because I wouldn't allow people onto my personal Facebook page. And I'm like, look, I don't know you like that, and I tell you guys stories about the kids, but that's about as much of the kids that, I'm willing to give up. And I'm not going to have people I barely know on my Facebook page staring and gawking at pictures of my family and myself and my children. No, that's just not happening. If that's something you're just, you got a chapped ass about, then you're going to have to suck it up, buttercup, or just go on and move on about your business. So yeah, so that manifested into me being sick. Mr. Coffee got to deal with that loveliness all weekend, which I'm pretty sure was, just so nice for him. So yeah, so stress will trigger rage. Rage triggers sickness. Sickness triggers an unhappy Mrs. Coffee. Which is why I'm not as normally and bubbly and, oh yeah, hey everybody. That's why I don't have the Mickey Mouse thing going on right now. I'm still not feeling the best. But I will get over it. Let's see what else has been going on. Oh, the kids started school. They absolutely love it. We actually went clothes shopping for them this weekend. This past weekend. We went clothes shopping for them this past weekend. They actually started school last Tuesday. The first day went great. Went without a hitch. The kids got up. They got dressed. Maggie is always dragging because no matter what time you tell Maggie it's time to go to bed, Maggie decides she doesn't want to go to bed. Maggie will sit in her room and play until late in the evening, no matter how many times you go in and tell her to lay down and go to sleep, lay down and go to sleep. She will play until late in the evening and then get up in the morning and be crying and cranky and she doesn't want to get up. She doesn't want to do that. And I'm like, if you just go to sleep when you're told to go to sleep, you would get enough sleep. And we've tried even putting her to sleep half an hour early and she'll sit in the room for like 2 hours and just play. And I'm just like, all right, well then you'll just go to school tired. Then I don't know what else to tell you. Like, there's only so much I can do for you, small, tiny human. And if I ask you to go to bed and you don't go to bed, you then can't come complain to me in the morning that you're tired. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how are you going to wake up in the morning after I just yelled at you that night to lay down and go to sleep? And then you wake up in the morning, I'm too tired. Well, if you just went to sleep, parenting mode, just, it's one of those things where I just kind of looked at her and was like, well, what did you learn? You learned that if you actually go to sleep when mommy tells you to go to sleep, you won't be tired in the morning. So the first day went fine. The second day, she's literally dragging herself. Now take it. We have dogs. I don't vacuum every day. I vacuum every other day. We have dogs that shed heavily. And I think that was my other problem. I hadn't cleaned up my house in a couple of days, and that will sometimes knock me into a depression, but I needed a break from life. So yeah, either way. But she's dragging herself across the floor because she's so exhausted. Like I'm like, what are you so tired for? I don't know. I'm tired. And I'm like, well, you're going to have to stop dragging. Like she looked like she was in like a war and lost her legs, and she's just, seal crawling across the floor trying to put her clothes on. And you know how when you're in a rush to do something, you're like, okay, we got to hurry up. And your children are just slow as molasses on a paper plate in the middle of a snowstorm, and they're just like, They have like what I call the Eeyore syndrome. They're just like, I'm coming. Yes, mommy. I just need to put on my shirt. And I'm like, will you please hurry up for the love of all that is holy? In the mornings, I like to get the kids up, get them dressed, get their teeth brushed, get their hair brushed, get Maggie's hair done, get their shoes on, get their snack for their backpack, make sure Maggie has her glasses because we usually spend at least 5 minutes looking for those things. Make sure she has her glasses, make sure everybody has everything they need, all their homework is signed and done, and then, they go off to school because this school doesn't actually give too much homework. So, which, rarely ever do they give homework, which I wish they would, but whatever. So she's doing the most this morning, and she's just dragging herself across the floor, and I want to pet my doggy, and of course Daisy's laying there, and Daisy's asleep because, the dogs know they're not going anywhere until after I drop the kids off. Whereas last year they would ride with me to drop the kids off. After a few times of Killian jumping out of the car when the kids would get out of the car, I stopped taking the dogs because I don't feel like chasing Killian through the schoolyard again like I did last year. And there's nothing like chasing your dog through a schoolyard while you're wearing freaking Hello Kitty pajama pants because you weren't expecting to get out of the car, and then you had to go do laps around the school because your dog has decided to be that dog that morning. So yeah, like, I hope I lost one of my... For those wondering, you can slide your drills across this canvas. So yeah, so I was like, I don't take them in the mornings with me anymore, and Maggie's just doing the most, and she's wanting to pet Daisy, and Killian's looking at her funny, so she's throwing a fit because why is Killian looking at me like that? Killian literally was asleep. Like, he would open his eye to, like, look at her because she was making so much noise, but he was literally just asleep. And she's like, why is he looking at me? Anything she can find to whine about, and I'm like, for the love of all that is holy, small, tiny human, why are you doing this? Why do you hate my life? Meanwhile, Orion has gotten up, gotten dressed, brushed his own hair, put on his own shoes, gotten his own snack, took his medication, was sitting on the couch waiting for us. We literally were supposed to leave in 2 minutes. He's been sitting on the couch for 10 minutes waiting for us. And I'm still trying to, like, get Maggie to leave the dogs alone. And he's just like, Maggie, do you think there will ever be a time where you won't make us late for school? And she goes, no, because I don't want to go. And I'm like, why don't you want to go to school? You were all excited yesterday. She's like, I just don't feel like it. I want to stay home with you. I'm like, I don't want to stay home with me. Are you kidding me right now? Like, no, you need to go to school. Like, you need to get out of here. And then I finally get them off to school. And I'm like, it's so lonely. Where are my children? I miss my children. I'm one of those moms that I don't like the kids to be gone. Like, summer vacation was amazing for me. We got to sleep in. We got to stay up late. We got to eat junk food and watch movies. And then summer ends, and then it's just me in the house again. And where it's nice, because I get to actually record in peace. I can sit here for the next 5 hours and record. No problem. It sucks because the kids aren't home. And then I'm like, why aren't the kids home yet? I miss my babies. And Mr. Coffee just shakes his head at me because he was like, weren't you just saying they were driving you nuts? I'm like, that didn't mean I wanted them to leave. So, yeah. Oh, also, I did not mention, for those wondering where this magical pen came from. So, I ordered this pen thanks to Mini Diamond Girl on Instagram because she's so awesome. She was telling me about this. Oh, okay, that was the D. She was telling me about this shop that she likes to get pens from. And I'm talking about, when I say likes to get pens, you know how most people have, like, when they have color pencils, they have, like, that color pencil case with all the little lines in it. She has one of those for her diamond painting pens. And at this point, she's past addiction. She's past addiction, let's just say that. Pretty impressive collection of acrylic pens, though. I will have to give her that. That was a pretty impressive collection. And she goes, oh, you have to check this guy out, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go check him out. Because I'm thinking, okay, because whenever you go to buy a diamond painting pen, you got to jump through a bunch of hoops. Tell us your first name. Can you lick your elbow? Can you touch your foot to your nose? All right, that was the first game we were going to play. Let's see who wins the next 99 rounds. So get this acrylic pen. Hate it, hate it, hate everything about it. Hate trying to buy these freaking pens. I'm like, why can't I just go buy... Like, why can't I go to a page that sells these pens? And then when you can just buy the pen, you have to wait 6 to 8 weeks. I'm not gangsta like that. I'm not about that life. Could I just get the pen, please? Like, could you just... I give you money. You give me the pen. Well, she was telling me about this guy on Etsy. And she's, you know, Jim's Handmade Pen Shop on Etsy. And I was like, oh, you know, does he do good work? And she shows me her. Most people have a portfolio of pictures. This chick has a portfolio of drill pins. And I'm like, well, holy crap, that just puts me to shame. Well, good gosh. And she was just like, oh, just a couple. So, yeah, so I was just like, all right, I'll have to try him out. Well, I'm looking through his pens, and I'm like, I don't see anything I like. So I'm like, oh, this might be another bust because, you know, they have to have a design you like, or, you know, why would you want to order a pen? Well, then I seen one that I liked, and it said out of stock. And I'm like, Sonia. So this was the pen, and it's an acrylic pen. It's called Mother of Pearl. It literally just looks like it has fleckles of glitter in it, which... yeah. Which if you're on my Instagram or my Facebook group, you would have seen it already. But yeah. So I like it. I'm going to go back and see if he has a clear pen. Because I want a clear pen really bad. So yeah. What letter am I doing? I'm doing D. But yeah, school is going great for the kids. Oh, I will link Jim's Handmade Pen Shop on Etsy down in my description box for the video. And then, of course, you guys know this one came, the gold and purple one came from Chloe and Mel's Creations over on Facebook, and she's linked down below as well. So yeah, so the first couple of days of school went really good. By the weekend, they were exhausted. Orion's really having fun with his classes. he doesn't have the same kids in his class from last year. Like, he has, like, I think he said out of the kids that he had in his class last year, he has 2 from his class, which that type of stuff doesn't bother Orion. Now, Maggie, on the other hand, Maggie, like she realized that, you know, she wasn't going to the same class, and she was going to have all, like, when I explained to her that she was going to be making new friends and everything, she got all excited. But then her one friend from last year that she was completely obsessed with, little girl named Gabby, little cute girl, she, and the sad part is, this is how, you know, bad habits are made, and not, people are just born that way. The little girl, Maggie, or Gabby, that Maggie loves, is African. Like, her parents are, like, straight up African. And so last year there was a tiny bit of a language barrier, because the girl, she spoke English, obviously, but it was kind of broken English. And now, you know, she actually speaks a lot better than she did last year. So now her and Maggie can actually have, like, full-blown conversations. And so when Maggie found out that she was in her class, she was over the moon excited about the fact that the little girl was going to be in her class. She didn't care about nobody else being in her class. Maggie goes to speech therapy, and her speech therapist's son was in Maggie's class yet last year, and where the speech therapist calls me to let me know that her son wasn't in Maggie's class, and we have IEPs coming up here soon to evaluate whether the kids still need speech therapy or not. Which I'm pretty sure Orion's going to get kicked out of that program. And for as much as Maggie talks now, I'm pretty sure she's probably going to get kicked out of the program as well. Which is just speech therapy. It's not like it's, you know, a fun program, or, I mean, it's fun for them, but it's not like an extracurricular or anything like that. Love that little Yeti coffee cup. But, yeah, so she was all kinds of excited that the little girl, Gabby, not Abby, Gabby. Sorry, I had to pause you, people at the door. So yeah, she's all excited about the little girl, Gabby, being in her class. The speech therapist's son was a little sad that Maggie wasn't in his class this year. And I was like, you know, this is something that, you know, kids still have to get used to, because they're, you know, they like that stability of having those friends, and then summer comes and then they go back to school and those friends aren't in their class anymore, and they're just like, what happened? Luckily, Maggie took it pretty good. Her teacher says that she's been doing very well. She has had a few instances where she's had to tell her, you know, Maggie, you can't, you know, do something, and then Maggie's tried to use the cuteness against her. And it worked. I guess it worked for the first few days, because I usually check on the teachers. As bad as that sounds, I check on Maggie's teacher once a week. How are you doing? Do you need a Prozac? Do you need something to calm you down? Do you need some Ambien? Do you need some melatonin because you need to sleep because you're going to have nightmares of my child? Are you okay? Now, when I say Maggie's bad, Maggie's not bad. Maggie is very adventurous. Maggie is very curious. Maggie is a thinker. She will find, if she wants to do something, she will figure out how to do it. Like, I told her one day that she couldn't have her nails painted because it was when she was learning how to read. And you know how kids get. When they don't want to do something, they won't do it. And they'll play around and whatever. Holy sun. Good gravy. That's extra. Come on, sunshine. I just got blinded by this canvas. The canvas just blinded the crap out of me. But, oh my gosh, this is what it's like to, like, work on the sun. Well, as you can see, the diamonds are sparkly. Oh my gosh. That also helps me see the canvas a little bit better, so sunshine stayed just like that. It's not overpowering. But as you can tell, it's like a dreary day here, and the sun keeps poking its face out of the clouds. So, but yeah, I try to check on Maggie's teacher once a week, and you know, she gave in to Maggie when Maggie would ask her to do stuff. And so one day I told Maggie, you know, if you want to have your nails painted, you have to tell me what color. Like, she had to read what color was on the bottle. Now, the color, and I only ever, if I paint my nails, I only ever use one color. It's called Ruby Slipper. It's red. And it has, like, fleckles of glitter in it. Because, obviously, you know, Wizard of Oz, the ruby red slippers. And I like the color. Mostly I like the fact that it has glitter in it. But I told her, if you can read the color, I will go ahead and paint your nails. And she goes, ruby red slipper. So Maggie likes to play this I can't do stuff when she wants you to do it, but she is perfectly capable of doing it herself. So I will trick her into doing things. So because she's so adventurous and stuff, there are times where she's just like, I'm not about this life right now. Like, I'm not about this. So she, sorry, Killian got a boo-boo on the side of his eye. He won't let me, like, clean it, and I just looked at it, and it looks like I need to clean it again. I think he was playing with Daisy, and Daisy got a little rough with him because she gets rough with him, or because he gets rough with her. And so Daisy kind of let him have it the one day, and now he has, like, this little scar or scab on the side of his face that needs to be cleaned up again. So I'm going to have to hold him down and clean him. So if you see me riding a dog through this video, I'm sorry, but I have to clean it to make sure it doesn't get infected or anything. All right. Sorry about that. I wanted to go ahead and clean up Killian's face because he's looking at me like it hurt. I don't know what that looks like. Yeah. Anyways. So Maggie can and will do stuff when she feels like it. And Maggie will try to play the victim card. So, I try to get her out of it by tricking her into doing stuff. Like, I'll tell her, if you want to be smart like Orion and be in his grade, you gotta do this. Like, whenever she gets readers home so that, because they're learning how to read better. Now, we practice reading over the summer. She actually is doing really good with it. Like, I'm shocked. She picked it up really quick. And we actually just got a paper home from the school saying that they're starting a new school in our district, and it's called the Academy. Now, the Academy is an accelerated learning program. Essentially, it's for kids that are a little bit more academically higher than what grade they're actually in. So, like how Orion can do 7 and 8th grade math, and he's only in 3rd grade. It's for kids like that. Well, Maggie is essentially teetering on being able to do 2nd grade math, and she's in 1st grade. And it's because they do a lot of math stuff in the house. I don't know why. Like, they'll go to play school, and all they do is play math class. Like, that's all they have is math class. Like, that would be their ideal schooling, is just spending all day doing math, which is awesome and bad at the same time, because, sometimes they are doing stuff that I don't even understand, and they're just like Orion can do fractions. I can't do no fractions. You know how long ago it's been since I've done fractions? I can barely use a tape measure half the time. You want me to do fractions. But Maggie, and because Orion's usually the teacher when they play school, he's been actually helping to teach Maggie how to do a lot of this stuff. So, like, I can't even take props on, her learning half the math stuff she does learn, because she usually learns it from Orion. He's a really good teacher. He's patient, which is something Mommy's not. He gets that from his father, as you can tell. So her teacher's doing okay. She still has most of her hair. She actually has a couple of other students in class that are actually, like, worse than Maggie. And like I said, Maggie's not bad. She's adventurous, which, could be one of those things that I try to tell myself, so I'm not like, oh, I have the bad kid in class. But no, the teacher actually has, like, students in class that curse and stuff like that they have to break of, these bad habits. So her teacher's doing great with her, and Maggie seems to like her teacher. She did get fussed at yesterday, though, for talking in class, and I'm like, you can't talk while you're supposed to be learning stuff, Maggie. And she goes, well, I was just telling Gabby that I wanted a Power Pack meal for lunch. And I was like, well, and it was like story time, so they were reading out loud. And I'm like, the problem is, Maggie sits at table 11, and Gabby sits at table 18. So her trying to talk to Gabby, it's not like she's sitting next to her. Gabby is literally like 2 sections over from her in a different section. And so she's trying to, like, almost yell across the classroom that she wants Power Pack meal for lunch to Gabby, so Gabby gets the same lunch as her. And I'm like, Maggie, you cannot be yelling across the classroom about lunch. And she's like, well, I was hungry. And so we had to have a talk about, you can't talk in class, blah blah blah. Her teacher said it was no big deal, but Maggie was like, I had a bad day, and I'm like, well, did you get in trouble? And at first she didn't want to tell me she got in trouble for talking because she gets in trouble at home for talking, but she she's actually not doing too bad. She's doing a lot better than I thought she would, and now that she's seizure free, she talks a lot more. She's a lot more animated. She's a lot more outgoing and wanting to do stuff. So, kudos on that. It's been about a month, I want to say, since she's had her last seizure. And that's wonderful news. She is still on the old medication. We haven't gotten the results back from her EEG yet. I was actually going to call the doctors today to see what's taking so long to get the results back, because we were told it only takes a couple of days. We should have heard back by that Friday, and we hadn't. So I'm going to call the doctor's office as soon as I'm done here to see what's going on with her EEG results, see when we're supposed to wean her off her old medicine. I hate the new medicine that she's on, though, because it's a pill, and she's 6. So I have to break it open and hope not to spill all the stuff on the inside of it, because it has like little beads, it almost looks like a beanbag chair. It has little beans on the inside of it, and she has to swallow those. She can't chew them. So essentially, it's poured these little beads into a measuring cup, like a medicine cup. And then I have to get her to put it in her mouth and then take a drink of something so she can swallow them all. And she will when she wants to, but if she's having a bad day, no. Good luck. You're chasing her. You're dragging her through the house trying to get her to take the medicine. She doesn't want to take the medicine. And Orion, he has a pill that he takes every day for his allergies. It's I think it's Singular. And he takes it and goes on about his business. But he has a chewable pill. Her old medicine was a liquid, so she would take that no problem. But the fact that she actually has to swallow these little beads and they don't taste the best, yeah. And I'm like, you would think that they would make these medicines for children taste a little bit better, so that, you would think they make any medicine you have to take orally would taste good, so that you're not sitting there going, oh my god, this tastes awful. But then again, to some people it might taste good. Like, some people like the taste of Robitussin. That's disgusting. Am I the only one that thinks that Robitussin is disgusting? I'm sure I'm not. So yeah. So Maggie's doing great. Orion's doing great. Like I said, they got home a paper asking if we would they want to test the kids to see if they qualify to go over to this other school. Now, I'm not so much worried about Orion. I know Orion will get accepted into the program, because they've been saying about wanting to push him up a grade so he's not getting bored in class, because last year his biggest complaint is that he's getting bored. And you don't want your child to get bored. And my big thing was, I didn't want to have him leave Maggie in that school by herself. And then, that's a lot of anxiety for a little girl. She's only 6. But then I have to remember, there are children out there that don't have siblings that do have to do it by themselves. And it'll teach her independence. Like, she won't depend on her brother to always be there. So I was like, I don't want to hold him back academically, for his sister's sake. Plus, she might end up going over to the school with him anyways. Because the academies for grades first through, I want to say, 7th. And so we were talking about it, and we're going to go ahead and fill out the application for both kids, have them tested to see if they qualify, and we'll go from there. I don't want to quite do it for Maggie, though. Like, I want Maggie to spend that time in first grade. Though she's really good at math and she's getting really good at reading, I think she needs more time to get adjusted and acquainted with being at a school first, before I take and put her in an accelerated program where there won't be anybody she knows. But we're still debating on what exactly to do about that. But other than that, school's been going really good for them. The best part of it is, I love the fact that that first week of school, the kids are so exhausted. Like, they just pass out. They just drop like flies when they get in the house. They're just like, hi, mommy, it was a long day. And then you just see them like dragging themselves to their rooms, and they just go lay down. And then I go in there and I'm like, oh, no, we're not taking naps. We are going to stay awake, because that means later on tonight, when it's time to go to bed, you'll be ready to go to sleep. Wrong. Never works out that way. Never, ever, 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 ever. The one day Maggie was falling asleep. I seen her falling asleep. I made her wake up. I grabbed her and I was like, look, you got to stay awake, okay? And she's like, okay. And so I pick her up because she was like slouched over her bed. So I had to grab her because she was falling off the bed because she was so tired. It was literally like the second day of school. She was so tired. I like grab her arm because she's like falling off the bed. And I was like, you gotta stay awake. Let's come out here with mommy. Let's go help mommy make dinner. She goes, okay. She grabbed a chair, which is what she normally does. She'll grab her chair. She'll come stand in the chair in the kitchen. Well, she grabs her chair. She sits on the chair, and then you see her just start nodding off. And I'm like, oh, no. Wake up, wake up. So I'm trying to like keep her occupied to try to wake her up a little bit. And I was like, ooh, you want to make brownies? And she's like, no. That's how I knew she was that tired. She didn't want to make brownies. Maggie always wants to make brownies. So I was like, okay, you want to do this, you want to do that. And finally got her to wake up a little bit. And then it was dinner time. So she goes to eat dinner. She falls asleep at the table. Wake her up again. Hey, Maggie, let's go play ball. Well, that night I go to put her to bed. She's wide awake. How? You were exhausted all day. Why are they exhausted until they go to bed? Why? I know somebody has an answer to this. Why are they always so freaking exhausted? And then when it's time to go to bed, they're like, la, 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 la. Do penguins have knees? Like, how can I cure world hunger? I feel like children are tiny robots sent to destroy your mental stability. Like, I feel like that's what children are to me right now, because every time I turn around, I feel like I'm losing my ever-loving mind. So, there was that. Like I said, Maggie and them are doing great. My eyes are having to adjust to the change of the sun from being blinded. And now, you know how when you get hit in the eye with bright light and then you see those little flashes of fleckles of light? That's what's happening right now. The sad part is it's not supposed to rain today, but it's supposed to be cloudy all day. So, yeah. And because it's cloudy, that means the sun's going to poke its head out. It's going to poke its head out. It's going to go back in the clouds. It's going to poke its head out. It's just going to be one of those days. And of course, I'm freezing to death because it's always windy here. And so I'm freezing to death and the wind is blowing. And yesterday when I went to go take the dogs out, which apparently I had to tell you guys a story because one of my subscribers sent me a video and she goes, wouldn't that be funny if your dogs do that? And I'm like, my dogs do that. Killian does it. The video was of a husky crying because it didn't want to leave the dog park. And Killian does that. But I'll tell you that story in a few minutes. Okay, I'll tell you that story now. So last year, whenever I would go get the kids from school, before I go get the kids from school, my routine is record videos, try to get them uploaded, at least uploaded. I'll fill in all the information that I need to fill in later. I'll get the video uploaded. I'll take the dogs out, bring them back, go out, sit at the school, wait for the kids, and then I'll come home and, we have the rest of the evening. Well, there was a couple of times last year where I would be late to go, and by late, I mean, like, normally I get to the kids at school like an hour or so early, because if you don't, you can't find parking. But I'm learning that because they come out of a different door this year. There's 5 doors that they can come out of, and they come out of the good door where there's not a lot of people. I'm learning that I can show up at 2:30 instead of 2 o'clock, and I can still find a parking spot. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, all right, we're at the dog park the one day, and this is, like I said, this has happened quite a few times, and it'll be time to leave. I usually let the dogs play for about 15-20 minutes, and then they, when I get back from picking the kids up, if they seem like they got the zoomies or something, I'll take them back outside again for a little bit, let the kids play, because it also helps tire the kids out more so that when it's bedtime, they're actually ready to go to frickin' bed. Because at this point, I think Maggie has as much energy as Killian does. And if you don't know anything about Siberian Huskies, they have lots of energy. You have to exercise them very often or they will destroy everything in your house. So Killian gets quite a bit of, and so do German Shepherds. Like, German Shepherds have a lot of energy, but Daisy's more of a laid-back German Shepherd. Like, she's very calm and collected. She doesn't get too rowdy. But we're at the dog park the one day, and this guy comes in with his dogs, and Killian, of course, is going nuts because Killian likes to play with other dogs. Well, Killian's going nuts. The guy leaves. Killian starts whining and trying to jump the fence because he wanted to keep playing with the little dog. And the guy's like, "Oh, don't worry, buddy. I'll bring so and so back so that you can play with them another day." And I have people all the time that will come in and ask, can they bring their dogs into the dog park with my dogs? Or like, are my dogs vicious and stuff? And I'm like, yeah, you can bring your dogs in. My dogs like dogs. Because of course they see Daisy and they're like, oh my God, it's going to eat my soul. And I'm like, no, she more likely will just lay at your feet and fall asleep than anything else. Like, she's over here asleep on the couch now. So I'm sitting there and Killian gets mad because I tell him to stop trying to jump the fence. He looks back at me and shakes his head no. And I'm like, don't you start that with me. Well, then he decides, okay, fine. He goes into the corner of the dog park, like across the whole dog park. He's at the end of the dog park. He's sitting over there with this look on his face like he's mad at me. Like I took the dog away. So he's sitting over there mad, and I'm like, Killian, I didn't even do anything. What are you sitting over there mean mugging me for? Mean mugging, meaning like he's giving me the dirty looks. And I'm like, why are you over there mean mugging me? Like, what did I didn't do anything. Well, comes time to go, he doesn't move. I'm like, and I usually just tell him, who's ready to go home? And they will run to the gate. No, not this day. Killian was just like, nope, not having it. I don't care what you say. I'm not going. I'm not going home. I'm staying here. So I then walk all the way to the end of the park, to which he then runs to the other end of the park, to which I then have to go run and go catch him so I can put his leash on. Sometimes if he doesn't come for his leash, I will jiggle the handle to get out, like the gate handle. And that usually will get him to be like, oh, look, we're leaving. So I was like, okay, cool. I will, jiggle the handle. He'll come. We can leave because I have to go pick up the kids. Nope. He ran from me. Every time I would try to put his leash on, he would run. Well, I finally caught him, put his leash on, and I'm like, all right, now let's go. You've had your fun. It's time to go. And he just looks at me. He's like, yeah, no, this isn't happening. And then he starts crying as I'm trying, and then he flops over on the ground. He's crying and no. And on videos and stuff, when you see it, it's so super cute. And when I go out to the dog park, that's usually my, I try not to take my phone because I try to give myself a few moments of peace every day because that helps me stay mentally healthy. I don't want to live on my phone, and essentially I do. So to give myself a few moments of peace, whenever I take the dogs out in the morning and the afternoon, I don't take my phone. Just so I can kind of sit with my thoughts, which is kind of scary in itself. So I'm sitting there, and this lady comes by with her dog, and she goes, "Oh, that's so cute." I'm like, yeah, it's cute until it's happening to you, and it's your dog that's being embarrassing, laying in the middle of the dog park crying and yelling no. And I got people coming out of their houses that live around the dog park staring at this dog who's screaming no at the dog park like you're murdering him. And I'm like, Killian, again, you're embarrassing me, dog. Could you please, can we just go? And he, no. And Killian can say 3 or 4 words. I want to say he can tell you no. He can say wow. He can say hi. And he can say, what's the other word? No, wow, hi, and row. He can say the word row. And he'll actually, you can actually hear the R in row. So it's row, 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 row. So I'm sitting there and he's saying no. And everybody's like, oh, what a cute dog. He's so cute. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's annoying. I have to go pick up my kids from school. So that day, I think because I usually take them out the park. Like I leave my house to take them to the dog park at 1:30, and I usually get back about 5 minutes to 2. That day I got home at 2:30. There was no parking at the school to get the kids. So I ended up having to park in the middle of the street, yell for them to come over to me because I couldn't just leave my car unattended in the middle of the street. And luckily, the first 2 times that happened, they were just able to come to the car. One of the times, Maggie Orion hadn't came out of his class yet. So it was one of the days where he got out of class late for some reason. And so I'm like, I can't occupy the middle of the road. But by the time Orion came out of his class, because when he came out, he didn't see me. So he went back in to wait because it was colder outside. By the time he actually saw me, we had been sitting there for 20 minutes. So yeah. So that's the adventures of Killian at the dog park. And then yesterday when I went to go take them to the dog park, it started raining and he didn't want to leave. So he had the zoomies at the dog park and he just ran like 12 laps rapid fire around the dog park, tired himself out, and then took a 5-minute power nap before we ended up leaving. I'm standing there getting, downpoured on because it's raining, and I'm like, it wasn't even supposed to rain yesterday, and it rained. And it didn't start raining until we had already left the house. We were already pretty much to the dog park, and then it started drizzling. And I'm like, oh, a little drizzle never hurt anybody. I have on my sweatshirt, so I'm like, I got a hood, so I'm not worried about it. By the time I got the dogs in the dog park, it was downpour. And I was like, someone needs to fire the weatherman, because I was just told before I left the house that there wasn't a chance that it was going to be raining, and now it's raining. And so by the time I got back, I was soggy and sad because I hate being wet. And then I was like, well, I'm soggy and sad, but I have things to do. I was actually motivated yesterday, so I got a bunch of packages sent off that I need to have sent off. I have another package that I need to send off to somebody else later this week. I was waiting because I cleaned out my room, because I always have like this stockpile of Diamond Art Club boxes sitting on the side of my bed by my window. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to clean them up. So I cleaned them up. My room looks completely different on my side of the bed because, now there's not all that clutter right there. And the moment I do that, I talk to somebody and I'm like, oh, well, I'll send out something, but I have to get a box. And I'm thinking, oh, I have the perfect box for that because I have all those boxes on the side of my bed. Nope, just took them to the dumpster. And even if I wanted to go run and get them from the dumpster because they were sitting right on top, oh no, it was trash day yesterday. So the trash men that come to the complex to empty our dumpsters came yesterday, and the one literally showed up as soon as I put the boxes in the dumpster. So I knew they were gone, and I'm like, Sonya, crap. So yeah, so I have to wait to get a box big enough to send this package off, and then that's the last package I should have to send off for a while. But I was all proud of myself. Like, I was so productive. And then I realized yesterday too, I was really sad Sunday and Monday, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I realized it was because I was out of cleaning supplies. For those of you who know, I love to clean. Cleaning's like my jam. Cleaning's like my other craft. It's coloring, crochet, diamond painting, cleaning. So I ran out of one of the cleaners I like to use, and I got really sad and depressed about it. And I kept forgetting to get it whenever Mr. Coffee would go to the store, and I kept forgetting to ask him to get it. So I ran out of the one cleaner, and I'm like, which is Grease Lightning. It's like my favorite cleaning thing because it cleans everything. I can clean laundry, like I can pre-soak laundry with it. I can clean like the stove and the tub. I can clean. It's all-purpose cleaner. And so I ran out of it. And I kept forgetting to get some. And then I realized yesterday when I was like, since I'm so motivated, I'll clean the house. And I couldn't clean the house because I was out of my cleaning stuff. So then I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go to Walmart and go get some. Went to Walmart, go get some. By the time I got back from mailing all the packages off and everything, I was too exhausted to do anything. So I was like, oh, forget it. I'll clean tomorrow. So now today is tomorrow, and now I'm not cleaning because I'm going to work on this thing. I want to get this moon finished, and then I want to work on some of my coloring since I got new coloring supplies in. So, yeah. This is my brain, folks. This is my brain. So, there was that. But I gotta start a new clip, so you're going to have to hold on a second. All right. So, yeah. And then also this weekend, if you're on my Instagram page, you would have saw that Mr. Coffee was teaching Maggie how to drive, apparently. He sends me this video. He's like, look what we did. Now, I sent Mr. Coffee to the store to get dinner, okay? His one mission in life was to go to the store to go get ground beef so that I could make something for dinner. I think I was making hobo meal. It's just, hobo meal is like a broken shepherd's pie. You just don't put all the stuff together because, of course, with the kids, We don't like our food touching, but we'll mix it in together ourselves. So I sent him to go get the stuff to make shepherd's pie. I then get this video about 30 minutes later of Maggie driving his car. Now, Mr. Coffee drives a stick shift. One, I can't drive the car because I don't drive stick shift. My car's an automatic. So I'm just like, okay, how is she reaching the pedals? He goes, obviously she's not. I had the pedals. And I'm like, you think it's safe? And they were down in the high school parking lot, so it was completely empty because it was the weekend. And he sends me this video, and of course, you know, I'm freaking out because she's 6. She's 6. And he's like, she's sitting on my lap driving. Look, she's doing really good. And I'm like, that's awesome. She's, you know, Maggie's excellent at driving. Someone crazy. But driving a car, she actually didn't do too bad. She actually looked like she was having a lot of fun. And a lot of people, I put a short snippet of the video up on my Instagram page. And a lot of people were like, you know, we used to do this with our parents. And I'm like, I don't ever remember sitting on my dad's lap and driving a car. But then again, my dad worked like 70 jobs when I was little. So I didn't see him very often whenever I was small. So I was just like, oh, okay, so this is a normal thing. I thank you for everyone who, you know, said that they used to do that when they were small, because I was freaking out like, why would you do this with a small child? Like, she's just a small child. Why would you do this? So Maggie got a driver lesson this weekend. And Orion, he was in his room. He was so far into whatever book he got from the library, because it was another chapter book, that he finished the book. It was like a 14 chapter book, and he had been reading it like since he got it from the library, and he finished it the same day he got it. And he was telling me all about it, and this was Saturday, this past Saturday. He was telling me all about the book, he got it Friday, started reading it in school, and then finished it on Saturday. And so he's telling me all about this book, and then we get this, you know, video message from Mr. Coffee of Maggie driving, and he goes, well, now I want to drive. And I'm like, you've started something here. I don't trust myself to drive half the time, and you want me to put, you know, one of our children behind the wheel? I don't trust Maggie herself with a spoon, let alone, because I've seen what she can do with a spoon. She's almost gouged her brother's eye out with a spoon before. I'm like, and you want me to put her behind the wheel of a car? No, thank you. I'm good. And then I'm laughing because in the video, they're saying hi to the birds, because we get a lot of seagulls here. So they're saying hi to all the seagulls that are like congregating in the parking lot of the school. And I'm like, no, thank you. I'm like, you know, and I made sure to let everybody know no birds were hurt during the driving lesson. But yeah, this is Mr. Coffee. He's a lot braver than most, because there's no way. There's no way. Even when Maggie gets older, there's no way I think I could teach her how to drive, because I barely know how to drive myself, let alone teach somebody else how to drive. Like, if I don't know how to do it, I'm not teaching nobody else, because I ain't, no. And Mr. Coffee, he's cool as a cucumber, so like more than likely he'll be the one teaching the kids how to drive, because I have horrible road rage. Who's with me? Like, I know a lot of y'all are with me with the whole road rage thing. I don't drive well. Let's just say that. I don't drive well. I don't do well behind the wheel of a car. No. Which is another reason why I just try to stay home, because then I don't have to drive. I don't mind driving, and I actually can drive pretty good. I just don't like doing it. I'm lazy, I guess. And I'm okay with this. I have come to terms with the fact that I'm too lazy to drive myself to go do stuff. And like half the time I'll sit here in the house doing whatever I do in the house all day. And then Mr. Coffee will get off work, and I'm like, hey, would you mind stopping by Walmart? Because he has to drive by Walmart anyway on his way home. So he usually doesn't mind. So I'm like, hey, could you drive by Walmart and grab this? And he's like, yeah. So he, you know, if I need something from Walmart, I'll just wait till the end of the day and then ask him to grab it. So yeah, so Maggie got her driver's lesson. Oh, we let Maggie see her bike. We went into the garage looking for something, and she saw it. And so and she listened to my whipping chat for some reason. I don't know why, but she listened to my whipping chat, and she's, you know, Mommy, I heard you said you had a bike for me. Can I see it? And I was like, who told you that? And she goes, I listened to your video. I was watching your video. 1, didn't realize my children watch my videos. 2, she said she was laughing at the stuff that she does. And I'm like, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm like, This is how you drive mommy crazy. And she goes, but I love you, mommy. And I was like, yeah, I love you too, you little monster. But it was actually a pretty good weekend, minus like the mental health crap. That really, it knocks me off my A game. So then like I'm trying to like slowly, even now I'm slowly trying to pick up the pieces and try to get myself back to normal. And it takes a little bit. So, you know, forgive me if, you know, I seem a little off for the next couple of days. It usually takes about a week before I feel back to normal again. And I actually debated doing this whip and chat because I was like, I don't know. When I'm like this, I'm not usually very chatty, but I seem to be doing perfectly fine today. So yeah, there's that. So let's see, what videos do we have coming this week? We have, by the time you see this, you have seen the part 2 to Treasure Studios Arts. I was going to have an unboxing for you guys, but something went wrong with it, so I won't have that unboxing. I'll probably have the marker video. I have some Arteza stuff that I wanted to show you guys. I might do a swatch video. And if I do a swatch video, it's going to be like a whip and chat, except for I'm swatching my markers and showing you the colors and stuff. Which is hilarious because I was telling Mr. Coffee, I was like, you know, for those folks that were claiming that, you know, oh, well, if you make coloring videos, I'm not watching. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Not, you know, coloring's not for everyone. I got a lot of coloring stuff. Like I got one diamond painting for my birthday from a subscriber, but the rest of the stuff I got from subscribers was coloring. So I was like, okay, so they like the coloring. There's just some of them that don't like the coloring. So I might start doing like swatching videos and color with me's and stuff like, but the coloring with me's won't be very long just because of the fact that it won't be long just because of the fact that I'll have already done an almost 2-hour whip and chat. So to then do color with me on top of that, I think that'd be a little too much. But overall, I think you guys should have this video coming out on Wednesday, or it might come out on Thursday because I already have a video going out Wednesday. Yeah, I think I'm going to put this video up Thursday, and then I'll do the marker video as the second video for tomorrow because I'm not doing a What You Got Wednesday. All right, so this week I'm not doing a What You Got Wednesday only for the simple fact of some of my subscribers, when they send me stuff, they don't want me to make videos of it. They don't want me to film it. They don't want me to let people know where they got it from, and I can completely understand that because I've noticed in our community there have become a lot of new channels that are strictly out to get free stuff. And that's another reason why I didn't want to do the P.O. box, because my thing is if I see it immediately, you start a page and the first thing in your description box is send me friend mail here, I get a little weary of, you know, why you're actually doing YouTube. Like, are you just in it for the free stuff? I mean, YouTube isn't about free stuff. Yeah, obviously it's going to be nice to get free stuff, but, you know, you shouldn't be doing YouTube just to get free stuff. But I didn't want to do it because of that, but I also don't want people harping about my address, because if I tell you that I don't want to give you my address, I don't want to then hear your 4-hour speech on why it's not fair that I won't give you my address. It's my address. I don't have to give it to you. Good gravy. This moon. The sad part is, okay, this canvas, since I haven't talked about the canvas yet, the canvas is actually going really good. The drill quality needs some work, but other than that, the canvas itself is amazing. I haven't been working on it a whole lot this weekend. I didn't touch any crafts hardly at all because I wasn't feeling the best. But the canvas is going great. I would have been done with it if I would have worked on it this weekend, but I really didn't. I think I did Mindful Monday with it, and that's the first I had touched it all weekend. And even then, I wasn't feeling very up to recording because I still wasn't feeling well. So I've been kind of just taking it easy and laying back and watching a lot of TV, or I should say a lot of YouTube because I don't watch TV. I also had another creator. There's a lot of giveaways going on right now on YouTube, and one of the creators was like, you know, I noticed you didn't enter my video or my contest giveaway, you know, why not? And I was telling another creator about this, and I'm like, I don't enter giveaways. So for those creator peoples that do giveaways, I purposely don't enter giveaways. I won't enter giveaways on groups. I won't enter giveaways on YouTube. And I have my reasoning. And here it is. So, I am a YouTuber. So, I am perfectly capable of buying my own stuff. Like, I buy my stuff from my channel. So, when I see, like, other YouTubers and they're entering contests for, channels and groups and stuff, if they want to do that, that's on them. Me personally, because I'm able to, I've been blessed with a life where I can buy my own craft supplies. Or I have, very generous subscribers that will gift me craft supplies. So I don't feel like, and like I said, this is just me, I don't feel it's fair to then enter a contest where you're possibly taking away someone's one and only chance to get a canvas. Because how many people out there are there that can't afford canvases? And you're taking the chance, you're making the chance lesser for them to be able to win one when you're perfectly capable of buying your own. So, like, I usually leave giveaways to that person's subscriber. Like, right now, Diamond Painting with Diamond Dave and Sherry from, again, I want to call her Diamond Art Club. Diamond Art Addiction, I think is her name. They have giveaways going on right now. I guess it's like a double giveaway or something. And I told her, I'm like, don't feel some type of way if I don't enter your giveaway. I'm like, I don't enter giveaways. That takes away from those folks who can't actually afford it. Why? What gives me the right with a closet full of Diamond Art Clubs to go then enter a giveaway? And I don't even know what their giveaway is for. Like, I don't even know what you're getting. I'm pretty sure it's probably something from Treasure Studio Arts. But I'm like, why would I then go take the chance away from someone who's never possibly had a canvas from that company, or who's new to diamond painting, or, is just a subscriber, a loyal subscriber? Why would I take that chance away from that subscriber, and I'm a creator and I can go buy my own? So I don't enter giveaways. So for those creator people that wonder why they never see my name in a giveaway, like the last one I think I entered was Rachel Ray, and then I felt really bad because there was a lady that made the comment that she had always been wanting an acrylic pen, but she can't afford it and was really hoping that she would have won it in Rachel's contest. And I felt like crap because I'm like, I could easily just go out and buy a pen where this woman obviously can't, and I just took that pen away from her. So since then, I don't enter giveaways anymore. You learn as you go when you're a creator on YouTube. Like, you learn as you go. I also was contacted. Oh my God, I'm so excited about this. So I was contacted by an author of one of the coloring books that I showed last week. So for those of you who know or watch the coloring videos, I flipped through one of Alina Lazaviera. I flipped through one of her coloring books. Well, she freaking contacted me and asked me to help her do some stuff. And I'm like, me? So you guys are going to see some of the cool stuff, which for those of you who didn't know, she also makes diamond paintings. Like, she makes her art into diamond paintings. And I was just like, for real? And she's on Etsy. Now, they are usually about 60 by 80 and they're square. And I know a lot of people are turned off by square and they'll probably ask her about round, but I got one coming so that you guys can see what it looks like. And if you want to go check it out for yourself, and if you don't realize what book that was the book that was called Fashion. So she has an Etsy shop and she sells her artwork as diamond paintings. And from what I've seen, they look amazing. So I have one coming along with 2 more of her coloring books. And she wanted me to be able to show you guys what her artwork looked like as a diamond painting. And you know what? I wonder if I ask her, has she ever considered working for a place like Diamond Art Club, if she'd be willing to do that. I should probably ask her that. I gotta ask Diamond Art Club what the name of that, or what the thing is for her to contact them. Because she wants to get into the realm of, like, making money off her art. So she started working with manufacturers to create diamond paintings. I guess she just started doing it. So I'm wondering if she'd be willing to work with Diamond Art Club, because, oh my gosh, she has some beautiful work. So yeah, so you guys will, and I'm not sure when that canvas is coming in. I'll have to check it. But you guys will be seeing that coming up here soon. The 2 coloring books should be here like any day now. Like I'm thinking like today or tomorrow. When I'm shooting the video. By the time you see the video, I might already have the coloring books. So yeah, so she contacted me, and of course, when these people contact you, because I personally, you know, I don't contact anybody. I used to, when I first started my channel, to get my name out there, you know, I would try to contact companies and ask them for stuff, and, you know, be like, hey, you know, could you give me some information about your company? You know, I'm trying to start a YouTube channel, and, you know, I'm trying to find some good places to buy diamond paintings. And that's essentially what happened with Heartful Diamonds. That is the first and only company I've ever contacted to ask, could I review one of their products? Every other company since then has come to me. So, I was just lucky they didn't laugh in my face and tell me no. Like, again, I was a new YouTuber, and you learn this stuff as you go. So I didn't realize what I was doing was, you know, it's not bad to contact companies, but you don't want to go beg every company for a free canvas like you're a charity case or something. Like I'm not a charity case, and I'm perfectly capable of buying my own paintings, and I don't need to, you know, throw a pity party or anything like that to get free paintings from, you know, people that are essentially trying to open their heart to you, and you're just like, oh, well, you're Madame Cleoing them, if you will. Madame Cleo used to be a TV psychic, and she would, you know, prey on those folks that were, you know, weak-minded or whatever. And so, like, I'm like, I don't need to make people feel bad to send me stuff. I don't want, you know, free stuff from people. And I tell people all the time, you don't have to buy me anything. Just watch one of my videos. Watch a video, comment, you know, do something. That alone is like the best thing you can do for me, because, you know, then I don't have to figure out where on my wall to put it. So yeah, so, oh, sorry, TV just popped on. So I have that happening with Alina Lasviera. Pretty sure I'm still butchering her last name, which I was pretty excited for her to contact me about that. And then I was watching Redneck Beauty, which I guess her name isn't Redneck Beauty anymore. So for those of you who didn't know, Redneck Beauty changed her name to Patriotic Beauty. She was having some issues with YouTube, and I guess they don't like that word, so she changed her name to Patriotic Beauty. And she was doing some sequins kit, and I meant to message her and ask her, was she working with tacks? Because it looked like a piece of foam board that you were sticking tacks in, like the old school light brights. Does anybody remember the old school light brights? Speaking of old school, anybody remember Teddy Ruxpin? I used to have one of those teddy bears, and he would, like, you'd put the cassette tape inside of his belly or his back or something, and he'd read you stories. That used to be my favorite toy. What was your favorite toy as a kid? Put that down in the comments. This should be interesting to see, because I'm an 80s baby. So Teddy Ruxpin, Rainbow Bright, Gumby and Pokey, stuff like that is what I remember. And then, like, I was laughing because Redneck Beauty got a few coloring books, and one of the coloring books she got was a 90s cartoon coloring book, and I was like, no way. And it had, like, I think it had, like, Ren and Stimpy in it, and it had All Real Monsters, which that used to be one of my favorite shows. It had Rocket Power in it. One of my favorite 90s cartoons was Rocko's Modern Life. Like, I don't know what was it about that little Willoughby and his dog Spunky, and he had, like, a turtle friend and his cow friend named Heifer. And that just used to be my show. So when she showed that coloring book, I was just like, I was all about that. And I was like, yeah. And she was trying to figure out Krampus's name, I think his name was Krampus. Pretty sure his name was Krampus. This is the guy from All Real Monsters that held his eyes in his hand. I knew it when she was showing it. Now I'm just drawing a blank. Anyways, so yeah. She introduced sequin art, and I was kind of hoping she'd work on it a little bit, because, like, and she did. She worked on it just a little bit, but she wanted to finish it for her daughter. But I'd never seen anything like that before, and I was like, sequin art? it's like sequins, like, you know, nowadays they have these sequin pillows and stuff that you rub on them and they change colors and you can write like little messages in the sequins and they flip back and forth. I wonder if it's something like that. Um, and I have to live vicariously through her because I don't want to do it. I just want to see it done. Anybody else like that? You see somebody working on something and you're like, I don't want to work on that, but I want to see them work on it. That's where my mind is at this point, because I don't want any more new crafts, but I want to see everybody else work on all new crafts. Because I think I was watching Diamond Painting with Anxiety, and I want to say she was making like a birdhouse or a dollhouse. I can't remember. I only got to watch it for a few seconds before I ended up having to go to bed because it was getting late. But yeah, I don't mind watching all the crafts. I just don't want to do all the crafts. If the crafts take me outside, then that's an automatic no. If the crafts make me put on pants, that's an automatic no. Oh, and for those wondering, I didn't get a hold of my neighbor lady yet to give her the canvas because, again, we live in a locked building and she hasn't been home for like the last week. So I'm thinking she might be on vacation. So I will have to keep checking in with her to see if she would like to keep that canvas, because I don't want to just leave it at her door, and if she is on vacation, have one of her neighbors possibly take it. So I'm going to wait and give it like a week or two, and then I'm going to go over and see if she's there to see if there's something she wants, or if she went ahead and ordered it or something. So yeah. But I will be doing another giveaway in my group here soon. That was a lot of fun. Even though I then had to go through and I had to number all the comments because I didn't think to do it when people were commenting. So then I had to go through and comment, you know, everybody's number 1 through 585. Luckily, Rachel Ray was awesome enough to help me. She helped me number some of the people. So if you didn't get a chance to win that time, don't worry. A new diamond painting will be a new contest will start here soon again. We just have to I want to make sure all the winners from this time get their canvases before I go starting a new contest. So I'm going to give Rachel Ray and Paul Paul time to get their canvases out so that then I can start a new contest. Now, any other contest after that, unless I tell you that it's okay with Rachel Ray that, you know, her and I are going to do stuff together, any other contest after that is just going to be me. So it'll be like 1 painting instead of 3 or 4. So yeah. So I will be running another group contest, you know, here soon. And I figure it's a nice way to, you know, not only get rid of some of the... Because we all do it. When you first get into diamond painting, you buy all the diamond paintings. And then as time goes on, you go back and look at those paintings and you're like, I don't think I'll ever get to this one. I like it, but I don't think I want to work on it. Like, does anybody else get like that? Like, you like a canvas when you first buy it, and then after a while, you look at it and you're just like, I don't know. Like, it's just, So that's essentially what's happening now is, you know, I'm going through my stash, and because I want to bust out some of my stash, which I actually put a pretty decent sized dent in my stash, just, you know, donating the stash to different, you know, people and subscribers and stuff. Because I want to see, I want to complete most of the ones I have, but there's some of the ones in there now that I'm just like, I could probably go without this canvas. And so my way of destashing is, first I have to go through to find the ones that I actually want to work on, because there's no need of cluttering the room with stuff that I don't want to work on anymore. So first things first is to get rid of the ones I don't want to work on anymore, like ones that I've just completely lost interest in. Then the next thing is to start working on them. The next painting, it's August. I have to start working on Soul Keeper, and I'm probably going to work on that one next, to be honest, because where I want to work on it for my anniversary, which I could easily color until the anniversary and then work on it, or just start it September whenever I decide to start it, because this Saturday is the last day of the month. Oh, I should have this done by Saturday. work this up until Saturday, and then I'll color until, like, I'll give myself a day or two to color, and then, because coloring gives me a nice break from diamond painting, so again, that I don't get burnt out. And then, you know, after I do a day or two of coloring, because more than likely this Mindful Monday will be coloring, and then I will start kitting up and working on Soul Keeper. But I really want to get to that Death Note one that I got from Mr. Coffee. I have to make a Redskins blanket for one of my husband's coworkers, but I of course have none of the colors of yarn that I need, which, one, I used to have walnut yarn. I don't know what happened to my walnut yarn from Red Heart, but I'm out of walnut. I'm out of burgundy. I'm out of black, which black is usually, I'm always out of black. But I go to the store to go find some, and they're like, it tells me online that they have it, but then you go to the store and the shelves are bare because they just haven't stocked it. And I'm like, you know, hey, do you know when they'll stock the yarn shelf? And lady goes, honestly, that shelf is last because nobody uses it. And I'm like, obviously somebody uses it. There's never any yarn in here. Like, I hate when you go to the store and they're just like so nonchalant with it. They're just like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, we'll have it eventually. Like, I kind of need that. Like, your website says you have it, and then you go to go get it, and they're just like, oh no, it's probably in the back room. And then they look at you like, you don't want me to go get it, do you? You want me to actually work? Like, it's a hot mess. Like, and that lady that I asked about the yarn, she was just kind of like, well, I don't really want to go back there and check. I was just back there, but they'll stock it eventually. And she just walks off, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Like, seriously? So yeah, I have to make that blanket. So there will be, well, not so much as a crochet along, it'll be a craft with me, and I'll do crocheting of that blanket. That way you guys can kind of see me work up that blanket, because it's going to take a lot of time to work that thing up. Just for the simple fact that it is a graph, and it has, I think it has 5 or 6 colors. But just like with diamond painting, it has confetti. So because I'm having to make a face and all this other fun stuff, it's going to take me a little bit to make it. So you guys might see it for a little bit, but I have to have it finished by November. And I need to go get burgundy yarn, walnut yarn. What? Burgundy, walnut, black, white, yellow, and there was some other color. There's that guy with that stupid car again. Oh, I hate when people do that. Anyways, so yeah. So I have that blanket to do. I want to start on Soul Keeper. After Soul Keeper, I think I'm going to work on that canvas for Mr. Coffee. Try to have that finished before his birthday, which his birthday is November 5th. Maggie has her birthday coming up. I don't think I finished telling you guys the story about her bike. But she found her bike. I'm all over the place. My bad. Maggie found her bike in the garage because she heard me talk about it in my last whipping chat. And so we let her play with it. She had the bike for 20 minutes, flattened the tire. I think the tube was bad in it when we bought it. The good thing is we were going to return it anyways because the one we got her was too small. So we ended up getting her a bigger bike. She went from like a 16-inch to an 18-inch. Because she's so tall, we had to get her a bigger bike. The good thing is, it's almost the same size as Orion's bike, except for Orion's bike tires are a little bit bigger than hers. But essentially, like, she'll have a bike that is good to ride for a few years. Like, she shouldn't need a new bike for at least the next year or two. Alright, sorry. I keep getting interrupted. But, yeah, so Maggie got her bike. She flattened the tire in 20 minutes. So Mr. Coffee had to then go back out to the store, go get a new inner tube, and fix the inner tube in her bike. Luckily, Mr. Coffee can do stuff like that because he used to ride bikes all the time, so he knows the ins and outs of bikes. So he had to go get her an inner tube for her bike. And then as he's fixing her bike, we got her a helmet, obviously, because, you know, safety first. And we didn't get her the elbow pads and stuff because she's so little. None of the ones that they had fit. And then go figure, the moment we take the bike out of the car, she goes to ride it. And because she's never ridden a bike before, she makes a sharp turn and falls off the bike and scrapes her elbow. Go freaking figure. So, like, we're getting groceries out of the car, and she just takes off on the bike, and the next thing you know, she's on the ground crying, scraped her elbow up. She's fine. She's fine. It barely, like, it scratched her, and that, just the fall itself scared the crap out of her. So, luckily, Maggie isn't one to shy away when she hurts herself. Like, she'll keep doing stuff. So she jumped back up as soon as we asked her if she was okay. She goes, I'm okay. She gets back up and she's like wiping her face, and she jumps back on the bike and she tries to take off, and she goes far enough down the sidewalk to come back up. And because we live in an oil field type area, a lot of the guys will have like shards of stuff falling off their clothes, like little pieces of metal or wire or what have you. And apparently a guy had gotten out of his car, and I'm going to guess he works for something called Wireline, where they work with a lot of wires, because he dropped a couple of pieces of this really thin wire, and it got caught in her bike tire, and by the time she rode back up the street after we got all the groceries in the house, she had a flat tire. So then Mr. Coffee had to go out, get her a new inner tube, and she was all upset because she thought that that meant she broke her bike. So she's in the house, in her room, and she's kind of whining. And I'm like, don't worry. Daddy will get you a new bike. I'm like, Mommy's got to start dinner. So I go to start dinner, and I just hear this thump, thump, thump. And I'm like, what in the world is that noise? I go in her room, and she has the helmet on still. And she's knocking her head up against the wall. And I'm like, again, remember, Maggie has epilepsy, for those of you who don't know. So she's not supposed to hit her head, which she hits her head daily. So I'm like, Maggie, why are you doing that? And she's like, I'm testing my helmet. I'm sorry, say what? Mr. Coffee walks in right at that moment, and he's like, you essentially give her a license to hit her head off the walls now because she has a helmet. And so we've spent the last couple of days with her bashing her head off the wall, not really hard or anything, but just kind of like walking around, she'll like bump into the walls because I have a helmet on and I can do that. So I was like, so apparently this is a thing. So now her and Orion will sit there with their helmets on and like headbutt each other. And I'm like, please stop, because your sister's not supposed to hit her head. Orion, let's see, Maggie's helmet is Paw Patrol. So it just has puppies on it, and it looks like a hat. Like it has a brim to it. Whereas Orion's is a Batman helmet with little Batman ears. And like, I tell them to stop, and he goes to turn his head real quick, and essentially his little bat ear smacks Maggie in the face, to which she then tries to bite the bat ear off the helmet because she's mad because it hit her. So, like, weird things happen in my house, folks. So, yeah. I got a package in the mail this weekend from Becky's Madness of Crafting. She sends me chips. She feeds my addiction to these red hot chips. And then somebody in my group actually sent me a link where I can buy them myself. So I was like, well, I'll save her money and postage. I'll just order them straight from the website. I wonder if they ship here, though, because a lot of places will have that, but they won't ship to you. That, and I live in North Dakota, and we just got, like, they just put in grocery pickup where I can go, place an order online to buy groceries and then go pick them up at the store, which is awesome. So, yeah, so Becky sent me a package, and I was like, do I have to open this on camera? Because if I have to open it on camera, the packages just sit here and wait for me to open them. So I'm just kind of sitting here like, do I have to open this on camera? She's like, no, you don't have to open it on camera. You can just go ahead and open it. Luckily, I did, because one of the bags of chips opened during transit. And she's like, oh, no, did it open? I'm like, yeah, but that's okay. That's just community chips right there. So then me and Mr. Coffee are just sitting here eating these chips, not out the box, but out of the bag, because the bag still had quite a few chips in it. Just a couple of them spilled out. And so we're just sitting here eating this bag of chips, talking to her on the phone. I think this was Saturday. And I'm like, that's fine. That just means that's less work for me to get to the chips. So I'm just sitting here eating the bag of chips. And then she sent me some, I want to say they're Ho-Hos. They're not Little Debbie's. They're something else with those squiggly. They had like chocolate on the top and the white little squiggly line on them. And unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to eat those. Mr. Coffee and Maggie ate those, because when I'm in a manic state, I can't have chocolate at all. Like, that's a complete no-no. It makes it 100 times worse, and I feel 100 times worse afterwards. So Maggie and Mr. Coffee ate that. So who was it? Dearly Crafted. I had to say a big shout out to Dearly Crafted. Thank you so much, Dearly. Dearly sent me a big old bag of Starburst jelly beans. One, I knew you guys were incredible, but holy crap, who would have thought that I could get jelly beans on Amazon? Because I get a box and I'm like, what's this box? And I have to open, sometimes I'll open a box just to check to see what's in it, just to make sure it's not like, you know, something I ordered that wasn't for the channel, because that happens sometimes. And I'm expecting quite a few boxes, so I'm just like, you know, I don't know where this box came from. And if you guys don't tell me, especially if I don't know you're sending a box, I will open the box just to peek in it, just to make sure it's not anything dangerous or weird, or like I'm not going to open it and get glitter bombed or something, because, you know, of course, Mr. Coffee hates glitter. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, you know, where'd this box come from? I open the box and I see all these jelly beans, and that was Friday, I believe, because Mr. Coffee had just gotten back home with the kids. And I'm sitting here and he's like, are you feeling any better? And I'm like, no, I'm still, you know, not feeling the best. And I was angry because I wasn't feeling good. And it just makes those manic states that much worse. So I open it and he goes, what's that? I'm like, jelly beans. And when I see she sent me a ton of jelly beans, let's see if I can grab it. Like, I got 4 packages of jelly beans. So thank you so very much, Dearly Crafted. I greatly appreciate it. The other thing I got was the Copic markers. Now, I don't know where they came from. That's the sad part. People won't tell me, because it was my birthday, nobody told me what they were getting me. They were just like, you'll love it when you open it. Okay, so I got Prismacolor pencils, I got Copic markers, I got something called acrylo markers. They're like fine line pencil or pens. I don't know where I put them. They're around here somewhere. I think they're on the craft couch, because Killian's mad at me right now because all of my coloring supplies are on his side of the couch that he likes to sit on. So he has to sit on either the floor or the other section of the couch, because it's the love seat. But the seat closest to me is his favorite. But I have it covered in like coloring supplies right now. And he's not liking the fact that all my coloring supplies are taking up all the room on his favorite chair. So he'll like sit in the other side of the chair and like mean mug me from the other side of the chair, like, you should really clean that up. That's my seat. And every once in a while he'll just go lay on all the stuff, and then I have to tell him to get off of it. But for the most part, like, he just sits over there and angrily stares me down because how dare I put stuff in his seat. Anyways, but I think that's it for me today, folks. I have some lifing I have to go do. And I want to color a little bit before I go get the kids, because we know there's not going to be any coloring when I get those kids. Those freaking kids. Oh my gosh. Even this morning, Maggie was doing the most this morning to not have to go to school. She just was dragging her butt like, oh, I have to go do this. She's trying to brush her own hair, which she can brush her own hair, but she can't put her hair in a ponytail because it's all like, you know, all over the place. And I'm like, I'm trying to not let you go out of the house looking like who done it. So could you please just let me, you know, brush your hair and put it in a ponytail? And she's like, no, I can do it myself. Why won't you let me do anything by myself? And then I feel bad because where I do let her do some stuff by herself, when it comes to her going to school, I kind of like making sure she doesn't look like who done it. Like, if you don't know who done it means, that means looking bad. Because that's something my dad used to always say to us. He wouldn't let us leave the house looking like who done it. So yeah, so she didn't want to essentially get with the program this morning, and I wasn't about yelling at her this morning. I was tired myself. I stayed up a little later than I wanted to, talking to Mr. Coffee. We've been talking a lot about whether I should do like the direction of my channel, because now that it's coming up on a year, I want to kind of do some new things on the channel. Not so much, you guys will notice better quality and stuff, but you know, there's other things that I would like to do and show, and I don't think there's much more diamond painting that I can show. Like, I can show canvases from different companies, but I really want to lower my stash a little bit more before I buy any more canvases. And the canvases that are coming in now, if any more do come in, I'm not purchasing. They're either being sent to me or they are gifts from subscribers. So, because I had a gift from one of my subscribers, but it came damaged. It was a diamond painting. It was a really pretty diamond painting, but it came damaged to her. But she didn't realize it was damaged because it had some rivers and stuff in it, and so she wanted to contact the seller to give them the business. And she said it was packaged really bad, and to let her know how it looked. And at first it looked great, and then I go to unbox it and I was like, ooh, that's no bueno, that's no bueno, that's no good. So yeah, like I don't want to purchase anything else for right now, and unless Diamond Art Club has something super extravagant coming out, I think I'm okay. Like I think I can go without the Disney princesses. And if these African paintings are what's killing me right now, because like I want all of them for my house, and I have one of them on the way, and we'll have to wait and see what they have this weekend. I don't think I'll be getting a sneak peek this week, but if I don't, I still will have an unboxing of the last African painting that they released. So I'm pretty excited to see it. And it's not huge. I love the fact that they're making them and they're not super freaking huge. And I love the fact also that when they're releasing the sneak peeks, they're also releasing the rendering, which the rendering is a picture of what it's going to look like with the diamonds on it. So I love the fact that they're doing that now, so you can see what it's going to look like and make a more educated decision on whether or not you want to purchase that canvas or not. That's an R. Look at that, guys. I got most of this moon done. This moon is what's killing me right now, because this confetti game is strong. Because it's a moon. You got to make sure it's detailed, because it has like all the craters and stuff. But, all right. So, I think I'm going to let you folks go. I think that was almost like a 2-hour whipping chat. But, yeah, I want to do some revamping to the channel. I want to try some cool new things. I want to teach. I want to show more of what I'm learning with my coloring. I want to do that crochet thing with my the blanket I have to make for my husband's coworker. I just want to revamp things a little bit, because like I said, there's not really a lot more I can do with diamond painting. I actually am going to because I've been getting a lot of new people coming to my channel from the coloring world that are starting to diamond paint. So they would like to know, how do they get started, stuff like that. So I think I'm going to use the next canvas I work on to do kind of a how to diamond paint, because I've done it before, but things change. So I'm going to do it again. But it's going to be a little bit more detailed, like knowing the difference between poured glue and a double-sided adhesive and stuff like that, just so those people that are new coming from the coloring world, because I've made a couple of friends in the coloring world, and just for those folks that are new in the coloring world that are coming over, they'll have a new updated version of, how to diamond paint 101. So I want to do that with my next canvas. So the next canvas might be, for those who know how to diamond paint. I'm going to be showing how to use multi-placers, which, did y'all know that there's a 15 placer? I don't know where it's at, but I need it in my life. I think I'm going to ask JJ to find me one. JJ's JJ Space here on YouTube. JJ can find anything. Like JJ reminds me of the guys on TV from New York with the long trench coats, and they open it up and they have like all the Rolexes in their jacket. That's JJ when it comes to like craft supplies. Like if she doesn't have it, she knows where to get it. So like I might ask her, hey, help me find this 15 placer that I've heard of, because it eludes me. And for this canvas, there's a little bit of both. There's a little bit of confetti. There's a little bit of color block. There's a lot of color blocking, actually, because like this whole background up here, like, let me move this down so you can actually see it. So all this up here is all black, except for like a couple of little spots where the stars are. So I would like to, I would like the 15 placer to see how it works, but I want to do tutorial on how to start a canvas, how to, you know, put the drills down, how to use your multi-placers, how to use a straightener, different pins for different folks, stuff like that. Like I want to do a in-depth how to really the nitty-gritty diamond paint. Which every once in a while is good to refresh those skills because, you know, new things happen in the community every day that you may or may not know about. So like you might learn something even if you're an experienced diamond painter. I mean, I still learn stuff about diamond painting, but I always sit here and go, there's not really a whole much more that I can show them about diamond painting because like it's diamond painting. You grab a drill and you put it down. You grab a drill and you put it down. But it's so much more than that. So I want to do like an ins and outs of diamond painting video or a couple of videos. I guess that would be like what, a series? So yeah. But I'm just going to go like really in depth on how to do it so that anybody looking to get started in diamond painting will know exactly what to do. I also want to show how to order canvases off AliExpress, which that essentially will be me playing with my computer while my phone is recording my computer. So hopefully I can do that because I don't know how to screen record where like I'm on my phone, which I don't know if you guys know this, but if you order AliExpress on your phone, you get bigger discounts if you order it off the app instead of off online. Like if you order it from your computer or something, they have mobile discounts. So you actually get more of a discount if you order from AliExpress off your phone than you would if you were to order it, say, from your web browser. And I'm pretty sure everybody probably knows that, but there might be people out there that don't know that. So save yourself a few bucks. Get the app. So yeah, so I want to do that. And it's getting chillier outside, which means it's time for some more crochet activities. So I want to do some more crocheting, show you guys how to make a couple of like cold weather projects. And I like trying to find these simple, easy to make like 1 hour projects like the cowl. The cowl is COWL. Cowl is like a infinity scarf, but not really. So I want to do like the 1 hour cowl. I want to do beanies, like not a basic beanie because I already have a video for that, but like more different designs. And I think somebody mentioned the Apache stitch, and I was like, yeah, I've never done that stitch before. I've always admired it, but I've never really done it. I don't know why. So I may have a tutorial coming up on that, not soon, but in the near future I will have a tutorial going up on that because I first have to swatch it, which is, you know, make a little sample of it to see if I can even do it. And then once I learn how to do it, I'll show you guys because, you know, I show you guys all the things. So yeah, so that's diamond painting, and then that's crocheting, and then with coloring, I'll show you guys some of the techniques that I've learned, show you some of the supplies I have, because right now, I think I have, I have the Arteza markers, I have Cali Art markers, I have the Denote markers, and I have the Copic markers, and then color pencils, I have the Castle Arts. I had a set of Prismas, but they were like a 24 pack, but Mr. Coffee saw that somebody sent me the Prismacolors, and he went off into his dark cave and was like drawing stuff. And he actually took the Copics because he wanted to try out the Copic markers, and he drew a piece of poop. And again, it's a guy thing because of all the things he could draw, he drew a piece of poop, and not just a piece of poop, a very perfectly blended piece of poop with like the smoke and the steam and the flies. And I'm like, of all the things you could have made, you made a steaming pile of poop. And he goes, I'm very proud of that poop, and it looks better every time I look at it. And I'm like, okay. He goes, put it up. I guarantee you your friends will like it. I'm like, I don't think my friends want to see a steaming pile of poop on their news feed for Instagram. He goes, of course they do. Put it up. And I'm like, really? So I put it up, and you guys thought it was hilarious. And I'm like, glad. I was just glad because everybody's like, yep, it's a boy thing. I'm like, okay, as long as it's not just me, because, you know, I thought it was pretty weird that he just decided he was going to draw poop randomly. He's just like, oh, look, all the things I could draw, I'm going to draw a steaming pile of poop. For those of you who don't have Instagram or Facebook, I will try to remember to insert his Mr. Coffee's drawing of the poop. He actually drew two things. He drew poop, and then with my Arteza markers, he drew like a little pumpkin. So I'll insert his artwork at the end of the video so you guys can see his little artwork, because he's so proud of it. And I love the fact that he's slowly getting, like, I'm slowly getting him back into drawing. And he lost his inspiration for a while there, so I've been trying to, like, you know, kind of give him a head start, like a little boost to get him back out there to start drawing again. It's slowly working, so fingers crossed. Because what I originally wanted was for him to draw up images for me to color on my channel, because he is an artist. No, you know, I wouldn't be like, hey, you should go, you know, draw stuff for Diamond Art Club or something. But it's more so like, you know, I can probably get him to draw something small that I can essentially turn into a PDF and share with you guys and do like color alongs and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that maybe I can inspire him to do that. So we'll have to see. But I've said I was going to get going like 2 or 3 times now, but I really am going to let you guys go this time. So thank you so very much for watching. If you are new to the channel, hello and welcome. If you are not a subscriber but would like to subscribe, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and the bell. That bell will notify you anytime I decide to put up any kind of random video. And believe me, sometimes they can be random. But with that said, folks, thank you so much for keeping me company. We got all this moon done together. Like, I didn't have any of this done. So thank you so much for hanging out and listening to me jibba jabba about nothing. Like I said, I'm feeling a little bit better, but it's going to take me a little bit to get back to my normal self. So please bear with me if, you know, again, you guys might get some, you know, less than Miss Coffee videos. So if you do, I do apologize, but I have to go take care of myself. So yeah. So if you're, you know, do the subscribe thing and, you know, like and comment, share with your friends, because, you know, sharing is fun. But I'm going to now bid you adieu and do like I always do, and try to keep reminding you to always try to be kind, be courteous, be cool. Bye, guys.